So I'm here today to introduce to you one of those driven and admirable people. Although I haven't got the chance to work with him myself, he is a fellow Nissan employee. He's made some great strides in his career, moving from plant manager to now vice president of powertrain and battery plant operations at Nissan North America. He's a mechanical engineering graduate from UT who has developed himself into a frontrunner through Vanderbilt University's Accelerated Leadership Program. He also really cares about his community, as he's done a lot of great work in my hometown of Cannon County as a previous board member of United Way. So I'm really excited to get to hear him speak today, so I'll just go ahead and get right to it. It is my pleasure to introduce to you all Mr. Brian Sullivan.
Thank you, Molly, for the kind comments and introduction. I tell you what do you guys think about the conference? It's been outstanding. I'd like to thank the organizers, all the AMA organizations that helped make this possible, as well as all the speakers and contributors. Let's give them all a nice round of applause. It's been really, really good. So when I was asked to speak today on workforce development, my initial thought was, wow, I've been going to conferences for 10 years, and we're still talking about workforce development. But it still remains an issue today, and I expect for the foreseeable future for several reasons. First, as we mentioned yesterday, our workforce is continuing to age. And by 2030, 40% of the existing workforce will have exited our companies. And the new hires that are coming to replace them need an even higher level of skill to achieve the challenges of the future. Secondly, the myth continues to exist that manufacturing jobs are not sexy. We all know that's not true. And each and every year, these jobs are becoming more highly automated, much more sophisticated due to the increasing levels of automation and technology in both the products that we build as well as the processes, integrating software and hardware together. And this is something that the younger generation uses each and every day, and they think it's cool. We just got to pair them up together. You heard over and over again yesterday on the connected supply chain, the connected factory, the Internet of Things. These create extremely exciting and sophisticated jobs in manufacturing. And quite honestly, I think we need to quit using the word manufacturing. These are technology jobs that we're creating, not manual jobs of assembly and the break and fix things of the past years in our business. Thirdly, with all the workforce development that has grown over the last 10 years, there is still which is very apparent in the southern states, we need to continue as our needs are continually changing. And alignment of these efforts has also increased, becoming much more efficient, but we need to keep the foot on the pedal to match the demand and capacity of the future workforce requirements. So I started my current role in April of this year, but this topic has been especially important to me, going all the way back to 2009 when I had the responsibility for maintenance and engineering in the Smyrna assembly plant. I want to point out, and this is important, I'm not an HR, I don't have an HR background. I'm not a professional in employee development. And while these functions are critical to the success in workforce development, it is more important that each and every one of us in operations, in all areas of the business, are engaged in this space. So going back to 2009, during the recession, Nissan, as well as many of you and your companies, experienced a loss of skilled trades due to the volume and sales reductions. However, as the industry came back, business was booming at the Smyrna plant, and we simply just couldn't find the talent that we needed for the accelerated growth. This led me to become personally engaged, and with the support of many, many people, I would like to share the results of where Nissan is today. The solution is a multi-pronged partnership, including education, industry, government, and community ambassadors working with Nissan to complete a front-to-end educational pathway system. I hope that you can take away a few good points that you can consider to help develop in your company and the communities in which you operate. It takes all of us learning together, sharing best practices to be successful in a global competitive marketplace. I want to give you briefly a bit of the background about Nissan in the U.S. Nissan has had a strong presence in the southern states since the first truck rolled off the line in the Smyrna plant in 1983. But since 1983, Nissan has continued to grow in the south with the addition of a powertrain plant in Decker, Tennessee, a second vehicle assembly plant in Canton, Mississippi, and lastly, in 2012, we introduced the first EV battery manufacturing plant in the U.S. to help pioneer the EV revolution. Since 1983, our southern U.S. plants have produced over 15 million vehicles, and our powertrain operations have produced over 10 million engines. Each one of these is one of the largest of its kind. I'm proud to have been part of this team since 1995 after graduating from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville with a degree in mechanical engineering. The Nissan U.S. manufacturing team is currently 16,000 people strong and growing. Additionally, for each job that we create, roughly 10 jobs are created to support our operations within the community. So that's approximately 176,000 jobs in the South. We need a very, very strong pipeline to sustain this level of employment. There we go. Many of you are probably familiar with Mike Rowe. He's the host of CNN's Somebody's Gotta Do It, but probably even more famous for his show Dirty Jobs, among many, many others. Mike has become a real advocate for the technical skilled trades. The Mike Rowe Works Foundation awards scholarships for students pursuing technical education based on work ethic. Not academics, not athletics, not financial need, but true work ethic. I commend Mike for valuing this very important talent. Mike has also written a book, Are You Profoundly Disconnected? Here's what his book means. There's $1 trillion in student loans, record high employment, which fortunately is changed, especially in our neck of the woods, but even with an improvement of that actually further complicates our challenge. Most importantly, 3 million good jobs that nobody wants. Why is that? Mike interviewed 300 people during the show's run, the Dirty Jobs show when it was on TV. Of those, 40 to 50, the folks that he interviewed were millionaires. Yes, they were entrepreneurs, but they had built their business and built their fortunes on technical skilled trades. So when we're thinking about dirty jobs and how that makes for awesome television, our industry has technically skilled jobs that are no longer dirty, and hot. As I mentioned earlier, these are very sophisticated manufacturing jobs in state-of-the-art, clean facilities that only continue to increase in automation and connected devices via the Internet of Things. We think Mike's on the right track. There is a real need within the technical skilled trades, specifically for maintenance technician and other high-skilled roles. So Nissan joined forces with the state of Tennessee and other employers to help prepare students for these jobs. This need created the basis for a partnership with the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, or I'll commonly refer to as TCAT through the rest of our presentation. After 4 years of planning and construction, Nissan and TCAT opened the doors to a state-of-the-art dual occupancy training facility this last spring. The building has 162,000 square feet of space that is shared between Nissan and TCAT instructors. This training center is located on the campus of Smyrna Assembly Plant. The Nissan trainers provide technical and leadership training for production team members, maintenance technicians, engineering, and supply chain functions to meet the needs of new hires, as well as continuous development and skill enhancement and career growth for our current employees. In parallel, TCAT offers advanced maintenance skills programs to Nissan employees, as well as programs and certificates for the general public. This provides training for our suppliers, as well as other manufacturing companies within the local community. Within this arrangement, Nissan and TCAT trainers can also support each other by sharing resources, both human and physical assets. This optimizes our training efforts in both quality and cost. And most importantly, we can develop employees within 2 years of high school graduation that can immediately enter the workplace by adding value and securing a job at over $50,000, helping them jumpstart a very, very exciting career. So to maximize our partnership with TCAT, our Nissan staff worked very closely with the TCAT administration to identify the training needs and the equipment that represent the same technologies that are used in our manufacturing plant operations, covering all systems from stamping, body, paint, and final assembly. And as a result of that study, we reached out to our equipment vendors, and 28 of them donated equipment representing nearly every technology used in the plant, valued over $1.5 million. What you see in this picture is an example of a 9,000 square foot robotics lab, thanks to the generous donations from FANUC, Mitsubishi, and Yamaha. And this is an example of many other labs that are in the plant as well. It's important to note that Nissan couldn't do this on our own. Equipment vendors typically do not donate to corporations, especially OEMs, nor could TCAT do this on their own. They don't have the relationships with the vendors like we do. So this is a real win-win-win for Nissan, for TCAT, and for our equipment vendors, as they now have the opportunity to get their equipment in front of the next generation of maintenance technicians employed, many that will be making purchasing decisions in the very near future. Another highlight of the new facility is our auto body and paint lab. Nissan and TCAT share this facility as well, and the new paint booths simulate exactly our painting processes within our plant. It is climate controlled, has a downdraft system, and uses the latest spray waterborne paint technology, but on a very large scale. The system has 2 paint booths and 1 sanding booth, all large enough to accommodate a full-size vehicle, including a Nissan Titan or a Nissan Armada. Our old painting system that we used for training was open to the air and only large enough for a single body panel, such as a roof, deck lid, or a door. While this basic system did serve some basic needs, it also provided the requirement to have more OJT on the shop floor after the training was complete. Having production-sized training equipment reduces that training time and prepares the trainee to hit the floor running once their training program is complete. Also, to be successful, we needed technical skills in the appropriate areas of study. Nissan worked with TCAT administration to develop complementary offerings in skilled trades, mechatronics, engineering, and leadership. We must also provide enough classes for the students to grow with the industry requirements, as the demand is anticipated to grow 400% by 2020. Current enrollment at the TCAT facility is 133 students today, and by 2020, that is estimated to increase to 585. So we designed our facility with this large growth in mind. Something else that we're doing at the high school level is creating an additional pathway with the high schools located near our Nissan campuses. This is through the support of TCAT as well as Motlow State Community Colleges. We currently have 3 high schools near the Smyrna campus that are offering maintenance mechatronics program. TCAT and Motlow sponsor the program, and students receive dual credit enrollment while they were in high school. So what this means is they receive their high school credit and credit toward a technical certificate or an associate's degree. This reduces their post-high school education time down to 12 to 18 months. And for those that want to take it even to the next level, Middle Tennessee State University now offers a 4-year accredited degree in mechatronics. These graduates can help fill the pipeline for our engineers. So something else that we have done to help fill the pipeline is to create a work-study program. Nissan's work-study program provides part-time employment and allows the student to attend TCAT classes on their own time. Classes are offered on flexible hours to suit the needs of our students and the employers, and the student can come from both our existing manufacturing base as well as straight from the high school or another TCAT program. This program offers students practical application concepts and allows Nissan and the student the opportunity to get to know each other better. This opportunity is hopefully and is intended to lead to full-time employment. The program has been so successful so far that we see that this could eventually eliminate the need to have company-sponsored apprenticeship programs like we have in the past. So these are just a few, but there are many other routine things that Nissan supports. Now, I encourage you, as business leaders, to be engaged and involved with as many programs in your community as you can. Programs such as career days held at your company, STEM programs within the middle schools and high schools, and manufacturing industrial councils within your community. The list goes on, but the key message is we must all be engaged. So Nissan has taken some of the initial steps toward filling the pipeline with young students through TCAT, and the state of Tennessee has also stepped up. They are helping reduce the financial burden that many young students face. Many of you may have heard of Tennessee Governor Haslam's program called Drive to 55. This initiative has a goal of 55% of all Tennesseans achieving a college degree or certificate by the year 2025. To support this goal, the state of Tennessee offers 2 educational scholarships programs to fill the pipeline. The first one is called Tennessee Promise. Tennessee Promise is designed for high school graduates immediately after graduation. But in order to meet the Drive to 55 goals, we also have to engage adult learners as well. So Tennessee Reconnect has been created for current workers in the market to expand their skill sets and grow their careers. Both of these scholarships provide 2-year education free at TCAT or any other Tennessee community college. All of the traditional barriers to build valuable technical skills for the market have basically been eliminated. We have the facilities and we have the financial support system. It really doesn't get any easier than that. To support the Drive to 55 success, as business leaders, we all need to be very supportive of the current students and the potential students to be successful and complete the offered programs. In Rutherford County, which is home to the Nissan Smyrna assembly plant, Nissan is leading a team of educators and employers in developing and executing a Reconnect strategy. The goal is to support the target population by promoting awareness training, advising, and mentoring students and candidates along the path toward graduation. In Rutherford County alone, if every adult with at least some level of college-earned credential had this support to complete their education, the county would achieve the Drive to 55 goals with this group alone. But for business to be successful in recruiting and maintaining talent, it is a corporate responsibility of us to help the next generation become trained in the skills needed for the jobs that we are creating and providing. We must be the ambassadors and do our part. As I think you can see, Nissan and TCAT have partnered to develop a very unique program. This partnership has taken the first step in addressing our current skills gap problem and is critical to addressing the continuing needs of the future workforce. But we can't stop here. All of us need to continue to adapt to the changing workforce requirements and personally engage our youth and adult learners that desire to grow their careers in skilled trades. This can be accomplished by becoming a workforce development ambassador and spreading the word of the great and many opportunities that manufacturing can provide. No one else can do this for us but ourselves. So far I've spoken about developing our workforce from an external source, but now I want to shift for a few minutes to the internal sources and how Nissan is addressing the uniqueness of the specific job requirements within our plants and our manufacturing systems. This may not be common knowledge just quite yet, but with the addition of Mitsubishi to the Nissan-Renault Alliance, the three-company alliance is now the largest automotive vehicle corporation in the world, based off of sales for calendar year 17. This has created a very strong strength of diversity, which is allowing us to collaborate globally across three companies, taking the best practice from each company that they provide. While our customer-facing identities do remain separate and unique, inside the alliance, we're working to benefit from synergies in many aspects of our business, and manufacturing is one of the key areas that we're working to accelerate this initiative. The 15 years of experience so far, together as partners, we have created and introduced a standard manufacturing system in 2015 called the Nissan Production Way. This allows us to take the best practice, standardize and deploy globally to all manufacturing plants. With this system, we can now benchmark internally, apples to apples, with over 40 plants worldwide, and continuously identify opportunities from one plant to the other to raise the competitiveness of the entire alliance. This not only motivates our employees, but increases the value to our stakeholders. Nissan, Renault, and Mitsubishi can now leverage the same manufacturing system, leading to further economies of scales. It requires all three companies to use the same language and same training methods to develop our workforce using the same core principles. And the most important principle is to value our people as the experts and empower them to identify problems and use a common approach, and for us as leaders to remove barriers to help them be successful. Together, we are one team strong, and we can be unstoppable. By investing in training for our people, we allow them to grow and meet their full potential and give them the tools to be more productive for our company. To start, all new hires complete a basic skills training program, which consists of company-wide skills that everyone needs to possess. The second part of the basic skills training consists of shop-specific skills within the areas that they are assigned. Through a step-by-step process, the team members learn the key attributes of their job with support of a trainer, culminating to the level of trainer themselves. When they achieve this level, they have the capability to train other new employees and create a standard operation directions for other technicians on the shop floor. To move to production leader, an additional 4-week class is provided that provides a much deeper understanding of the roles of supervision and skill up in specific areas to become the experts for their area. And lastly, for those who have the desire and the ability to become a supervisor, we offer an additional 5-week course of classes that focuses on synchronization with our customer, or as we refer to it in Japanese, the Doki Seison. We must think of the customer first in everything that we do daily to eliminate non-value added work. If the work we do is not providing a true benefit to our customer, honestly, it's a waste of our time and our energy. So in summary, the key priorities to the workforce development and retention are really quite simple. We have to continuously look for ways to raise awareness of good, skilled manufacturing jobs. Our industry will continue to change, and we must predict and adapt to these changes well in advance. Engagement of our students and adult learners is critical to sustaining the pipeline. Look for opportunities to partner in every way possible with the community and business partners. We all have the exact same goals. We need to align and work together as one solid team. Valuing our people by providing ongoing training to grow their careers and motivate them with empowerment. Encourage our employees to stretch themselves with new and exciting opportunities. Without these opportunities, it can often become difficult for employees to even see their own true potential. Again, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you today. And I hope that you can take away at least one thing from what Nissan is doing in our presentation today, that you and your company can take back to your communities along the never-ending journey of workforce development. So thank you very much for your time. I'm honored to be able to speak to you today. Enjoy the rest of today's show. Thank you very much.